Hello, Gerster. So I actually just recorded a VOD review of your game, and there was an audio issue. So unfortunately, I have to start again, but that's fine. Before we jump into the review itself, there are a couple of things I wanted to point out, just in terms of basic Pharah mechanics. So I noticed many times what you do is you just like you could be here like shooting them, and you just press shift and you go and you're like shooting them. And what that does is, especially if you don't manage your fuel properly, like you'll be like fighting here, and you actually find yourself close to the ground before your shift is back up, and that's really deadly. Like you don't ever want that to happen on Farah. So you just need to make it a habit every single time you use your shift. Even if you're already in the air, you drop down. There's a surface. You press shift and left click at the same time, aiming down, and it sends you way higher. I just touched the skybox there without using any fuel. And then what that does is it just gives you a lot more flexibility to stay in the air. And now I have my shift again, I go down again, just go higher. And it just makes a huge difference. Like, until you implement it into your game and see the results, you may not even realize like how much difference it makes for fuel consumption. But yeah, that's like a mechanic that I really had to get out of the way because you never did this, and
Greetings.
like any fire would tell you, like that is like it's essential. And obviously you can use your E and your shift for the same effect, but E has a cooldown and left click doesn't, and you don't really achieve anything wasting a cooldown like that. But E is really useful, so just make it a practice. Every time you go down, you just
Clearing the
you
area.
just press the left click, press the shift at the same time, go up higher in the air. And there's another thing I wanted to tell you is basically, as a Pharah, you have two modes, and you only swap between two of those modes. You don't ever do like a halfway thing. So basically, the two modes are just long range poke and close range assassination. Let's say there's a hit scan over there that you're firing at. You're in long range poke mode, and you're just trying to get like a good shot onto them. And what you do in long range poke mode is you always hug a wall. You always hug a wall. You want to be around the corner. That way, they can only really kill you with a headshot, with a one shot. Because if you get low, you can just go around the wall, and that's it. There's nothing they can do. You stay out of their LOs till they get healed, and you go back. So when you're in the long range poke mode, you always need to be hugging a wall and playing the corner. And so many times when I saw you, you were just kind of like this. Like you were just in the middle of the air, like shooting. Uh, and that's really bad because that just makes you like an aim practice bot for the enemy hit scan. You don't want to do that. You want to use them like like far as one of the heroes where it's most critical to use the map geometry and really abuse the LOS. So I want you to remember that every time you're playing long range, every time you're playing the poke game, building up ult, doing damage, you need to be hugging the wall. And you need to be high up in the air. I don't want you like running out of fuel, hitting the ground before your shift is off cooldown. The other mode, so the first mode is the long range quick mode, the second mode is assassination. And when you switch between one of the two, it has to be a full switch. You go, you assassinate, and you come back. Now let's say the hit scan is in the same place over there. So many times what I saw you do is you kind of just like use your jump tips and you're just like walking and just kind of like lumbering towards them and like trying to get a kill. Like that's never gonna work. Like never ever gonna work. I never saw you use your E. Like you have to just use it. Oh, wow. I literally just missed the wall. Yeah, so
System repaired.
if there's an enemy hit scan, you have the advantage at close range. They have the advantage at long range. You kind of make that advantage less by hugging the walls. But if you really want to kill them, you go boom,
Clearing the area.
surprise, motherfucker. They didn't expect that burst of speed. It's hard for them to react to it. And when you're close to them, like let's say they're over here, you're like moving around so much, they'll have to flick like a god to get you, and you only need a couple of rockets in them to get them, so you're way advantage over here. No lumbering up slowly. It's all about the element of surprise. The whole round you're like here, you're poking them, you're giving them respect. Basically it comes with the respect. Respect their ability to hit shots, and you'll go far. But then suddenly, boom, no more respect. Surprise, motherfucker, you're done. That's really important. Um, so yeah, so those are the two things I wanted to tell you. No fucking around halfway between poking at long range and going close and giving yourself putting yourself in danger. Either you stay perfectly safe, hug walls and get poked, or you go all in and you
Clearing the
actually
area.
use the how close you are to them as a safety, as a way to protect yourself. You make their shots harder.
Health restored.
Many times I saw you without any wall inside. Basically, what you're doing is you're just praying they can't hit their shots. That's just not gonna work. And now there's another fundamental that I really want to get through before I get to the WOD is I want you to understand that you can never barrage a team that is looking at you. That's the Pharah equivalent of using Wraith to go in with Reaper and just ult it. You give them so much time to prepare, to think mentally about what they're gonna do. Now, there's an exact moment in this game where you're kind of like boom, 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 and then you just fly forward, and then you ulted them. You did get a couple kills, but you died, and honestly, that's just such a bad ult. So you have a couple of options. Let's see, you're here, boom, boom, boom. Again, you use the element of surprise, boom, and then ult them. But even with that, you do get a little bit more time of the ult before they can react, but not much. What you really want to do is, once you master the fire movement and the height, let's say you're here, right? You were here in that situation. You're firing at them, one ult. They're all clumped up over there on that side. You really want to do it so that they don't see where you're coming from. They're not looking at you until you're already ulted. The way you do that here is you boost around like this. And suddenly you drop down, boom.
Justice reigns from above.
They can't do anything then. And that does require you to know your angles. Also know the fact that if you're dropping as far, you're completely silent. They can't hear you. If you use any of your abilities, if you use your jump jet, they can hear you. But if you do that move, the last time you'll use your jump jet is here, and the rest on this one, and the rest can be an all drop. Boom! Justice rays from above. You're dead. All right, so I hope that helps you, and I just want you to use it as a general rule of thumb. Never, ever, ever barrage if they're looking at you, if they can see where you are. Always barrage is an element of surprise. If you're here, you go around here. Oh, the skybox blocks that. But yeah, maybe if they're not looking at you, it's still viable. Just find some creative ways, whatever. Fucking go in from here, dude. Just crouch, move, just here. So, if you just take it as a rule of thumb, I will not barrage if any of them can see me. Then you'll go far. Because if you're already ulting, by the time they even know you're there, you're definitely gonna get kills before they react, no matter how good they are. Alright, let's move on to the board. Slow that.
Now entering ready for battle.
Alright.
I can't wait to see you all in action.
Ready for battle.
Alright.
Ready for battle. 5, 4, 3, 2.
So I already got a good look at this. I guess that I really like what you do here. So what you want to do, the chances of getting a kill on the spawn is actually really high. But if you had followed up on that ult, they would have been even higher. And this is the general ult charge you build, is really important. Your field's out and your shift is not back, so you're basically touching the ground. You're free kill even if people are not hit scared. That makes a huge difference. I think my game volume might be still too low. Right? Your team just got rolled, and honestly that wasn't your fault. You are trying to play the wall, but it's very... sometimes you play hugging the wall, and sometimes you don't. And you just gotta have that discipline. Every time you're doing long range poke, you're always hugging a wall. That needs to be a thing.
Back online.
There's no opportunity for slip ups, really. And if you're not hugging the wall, you're fucking using your concussive blast to go in and get a kill. Assassination at close range. Yeah, this is good. This is what I'm talking about. You're playing the corner, but you left that too early. You could have gotten more poke damage off. You could have had a barrage by now, easily, if you had played properly. Oh, why did you reload? You had one rocket left. Oh, that reload was so painful. Oh, she died anyway. Nice. You're playing this exactly how I would want you to play it. This is excellent. But you still haven't built an ult. It's been really long. Like, you should have an ult by now. Like, you could have ulted there. Yeah, you would have, if you had built it. Yeah, like, they were looking at you. I already talked about this, so I won't harp on it. They were already looking at you and you're just ulted. It's kind of a miracle you even got too close. You should be back near here. Your whole team is dead. Like, it's worth it to go all the way back. Like, not even. You see how the pros regroup, right? Like, go all the way to point C. If you've lost the fight, you're just staggering yourself. Like, the Ursa, Moira, and you, like, just 3v6ing that. And you just stagger yourselves hardcore. And honestly, like, that adds up. Like, I think, yeah, I'm on the mercy of the Ash staggered themselves. So what that does is that you lost an entire team fight. You lost the potential of an entire team. If nobody had staggered themselves, you would have been able to contest this after they camped. Now it's all one long stagger. So I think if you guys have given up 2 team fights, yeah, because you just staggered yourself again. Oof. Don't don't be afraid to not do damage, dude, for a little while. Like, just go home. You're not gonna win a fight 3v6, 4v6. People just don't think and they just go in. But you're not like, you're not a bot. You can make these decisions. You can go wait for your team and actually put yourself in a situation where you can put yourself in a situation where you can actually win a fight instead of just trying to get ult charge in a very losing battle. So look at that, like, they've already pushed halfway to point C. You're in a situation where you barely have one fight, not even one fight. You don't even have a team fight left, and you didn't even get a single team fight because you just staggered yourself like 2 times, and everyone in your team staggered themselves 2 times. So it's like, at this point, it's like, this is why people who are in bronze and silver get frustrated and they think like, what more can I do? Because mechanically there's not that much more you could do, but you're getting rolled because most teams, even if after they lose Kings Row B, have an opportunity to take 3 team fights, and you guys didn't even get a single one. I thought you'd get at least one by the end, but you just kept staggering, kept going in one by one, and there's no opportunity to team fight. Even if a Grandmaster player would not be able to rescue this situation. And it just comes down to having discipline, where knowing that, like, oh, okay, we can't get anything done, but we can if we wait for the people who died to get back from spawn and reach us, and then we can walk forward together. It's important, man. Like, not only are you not doing it yourself, once you figure out how to do it yourself, you can tell your team to do it, and then people, like, it's just important. It's like the most important thing in the whole game. Yeah, nothing you can do, really. This round is done. Like, you said that this game was particularly frustrating to you. I mean, this is frustrating. There's nothing on a mechanical level or individual level. I mean, no, there isn't. Yeah, there's nothing on a mechanical level you can do to change that outcome. You just had to, like, your last 2 deaths were just staggers. And if you can't group up as 6, how are you gonna beat a team that isn't dying, so they're always grouped up because they don't have anyone walking back from spawn. And not only are they not dying, they also have an ult advantage. Even in a 6v6, they're favored, and they don't even have to fight a 6v6. They can always fight a 6v3, 6v2 as the enemy's tigers. So yeah, not exactly your fault alone, but
Must violence always be the solution?
like I'd go as far to say that's the only reason you guys even lost that.
The government here has such a medieval view towards
Alright,
armies.
you're going Mei now. Mei is really good on King's Row, of course.
Do it together.
But yeah, well, I've already seen this VOD, so I know what to say. Is like when you pick a hero, you have to know what is that hero's strengths, and you actually have to play in a way that takes advantage of those strengths. Like, it's not gonna come to you for free. Like, yeah, Mei's a really powerful hero, but only if you play her like that. Like, Mei's really powerful at locking off tanks, at changing an even fight into a fight that is favored for her team. But if you don't do it, then it's not a favor. Then it's not an advantage. Then Mei is not a strong hero. And what you do in this round is you just kind of right click. You just try to right click the whole time. You try to right click the Pharah, and then it's like what happens is you're not playing to the strengths of your hero, so you may as well be playing someone else. It's like playing Mercy and just using your pistol all the time. Like, sure, Mercy's pistol can do some damage, but you may as well be playing someone else and getting way more value if that's what you want to do. But if you're gonna play Mei, you got to do what Mei does, and what Mei does is her crowd control, her wall, her left click. That's why you go Mei for those advantages. I'm sure it's fine to shoot the Pharah when nothing else is going on, but yeah, like right here, you should be walling. You don't wall at all. You wall very little, and it needs to come more naturally to you if you play Mei. At the very start of a fight, the first thing you should be doing is walling, because what the wall does is that it sets an even fight in your team's favor, and if you do it at the start of the fight, the entire fight that takes place after will be in your favor. Whereas if you do it in the middle of the fight, only the second half of the fight will be in your favor. So you do it at the start of the fight. You could have walled off the Brigade and the Zarya over here, and that would have made a world of difference. You could have won the point right off that. But it's just not coming naturally to you. Like, you're just doing damage. Like, you're just right clicking them, and it makes me think that you should be just playing McCree. Like, you should not be playing Mei. Like, if you there's nothing wrong with what you want to do, which is damage them. But then Mei's just weak. Mei's not the right pick it up. Even right now, you could be walling off one of the tanks, putting them under duress. Oh, there's so many opportunities for a wall, you're just not using it. You should be using it like any chance you get. Wow, your team is taking so much damage and Moira has ult over. You still have not used wall even once. You're just shooting fire like... It's like you're making life really hard for yourself. Why would you just win the tree? If you're gonna shoot fire, just make it easier. You don't have to play Mei. If you're gonna play Mei, you need to do what Mei does. Really, yeah, I like that example. It's really like playing Mercy, just using your pistol on. That's what you're doing with Mei right now. Oh, hopefully you get a big ult. Oh, that's really unfortunate. You couldn't even wall off that draft because of that positioning. You have your ult now. It's a powerful ult. They have heroes that could get locked up in it really easily. The Zarya, the Brigitte. What the fuck? I didn't remember that the Ashe is just there behind. She gets a kill. She gets 3 kills, she's totally unpunished. Okay, you got her. You still don't wall, what the hell? Wait. Good stir. Good stir, come on, man. What is this? They're overextending. Look at this. Oh, that Zarya's meat for you. She's meat. She's a fucking kebab waiting to be eaten, dude. You've used your wall, like, what, once this round? And even that was like a totally useless wall that did nothing. Just wall her between the bus and she's done. She's done, so just wall and left click and shoot her head. Yikes, dude. Walling should come naturally, dude. Off cooldown, maybe. Just do it off cooldown. That's better than this. Just try to get value from it. Come on, you can wall up someone right now. Okay, I guess you didn't need it there. Just literally have not used wall. There we go. That's a good wall. That's good. Okay. No point really if you're shooting randomly there, unless you see her. Even if you saw her. Yep. That's the play. Never go for these low percentage plays. It's usually a waste of time. Think about what you can do to increase your chances so you don't have to go for like a Hail Mary. It's good you saved her up. Oh, that's a bit. Is Ash frozen? No. Oh, and all of them get to avoid being frozen on the right there. Unlucky. Don't go for the back line with your meals. Go for the front line. People look at me. Zarya and Brigitte. Those are the 2 people you need to be. You know, just the tanks. Tanks and like the close range heroes. Those are the ones that need to be melee. You can whip wall right now. Like, if they grab your wall behind to cut off the escape and cut off the healing, more importantly. He would have died if you walled behind him. He wouldn't have been able to get healed. Oh, it's really tilting me how little you use your wall. Just don't play Mei. Like, play Reaper, play McCree, play anyone. If you're not using wall, why are you playing Mei? Well, you used it there, but it didn't do anything. Are you gonna lose this fight? Please don't tell me you lose this fight. Okay. Another opportunity to wall up Zarya, get a pick. I didn't even need to wall her, that's good. That's great. Yep. Basically you should left click way more than you do. And right click way less. That's how you make. Oh, why are you standing still? Oh, that was... I saw that coming from a mile away, my dude. No reason to ever stand still with Mei, or most heroes, except tanks, Widow. If you have the option to move around and make it harder to shoot you, always take that option. Why not? You know, even like, I mean, this is kind of a minor point, but let's say you're like waiting outside spawn to regroup. Even then, shouldn't stand still, because so many times as a tracer, you know, I'm on the flank and I'm looking for like a kill. And like a Mercy is just like waiting for her team and standing still. I'm so happy that she's just standing still, because it just makes that one clip so easy. And you know, there's no reason to. Like, it's not a lot of effort to not stand still. So yeah, sorry, that was a bit of a tangent. Zarya's doing. You're still not walling. Shift your attention now. Oh, are you really just trying to left click it? It doesn't do anything. What do you do? Wait. You kept left clicking the Winston after the Zarya grabbed. I saw an earlier grab where you fucking you walled off the damage really well. So I know I know that you know that that's a possibility. So you should be doing it consistently every time, you know? Like, you might not um, think that it's such a big deal, but it honestly makes a huge difference. And luck clicking with sim resulting obviously doesn't do much if you're losing the team fight. Okay, like that too. Um, sure you can get the DPS, get a headshot, clutch the game, but it's a low percentage play. And honestly, so much of being a good player is not. It's not about what you think. It's not about getting that Ash in that situation, getting that aim, and killing that Ash, and clutching. That's not what being a good player is. Being a good player is understanding what you can do that's actually much more likely to work out. Like going for these kind of low percentage Hail Mary plays, like if it works, it's great, but it's probably not gonna work. That's not very useful. Being a good player is understanding how to put yourself in a position where it's easy, you know, and where it's likely, and what that again, sort like it's so obvious. What I mean, not obvious, right? It's just it's always the same. That's what I mean. Not obvious. It's always the same. This whole round, it's always been the same. What you should be doing is walling off the Zarya or the Brigitte and getting a pick that way. And you're just not doing it. And you're doing stuff that makes me feel like you should just be playing Widowmaker, or you should just be playing McCree or Reaper. If you're gonna be attacking this DPS, you should not be playing Mei. And if you're playing Mei, you should not be doing that at all. Look at that. It's just like a good like 20 seconds or more where you're basically doing nothing. Like you're having zero impact. You're basically AFK. Like you're applying a tiny amount of pressure on their DPS and that's it. You know, like your team is literally 5v6 this entire fight because you're going for this like desperate play which has such a low chance of working. And you know, it's just like being good is all about brain. It's not about aim. And just if you had managed to kill that Pharah with a right click to the head, that wouldn't make you a good player. What would have made you a good player is understanding your win condition. And that's something you failed to do, and because you failed to do that, you had zero impact for a very long time there. Well, your tanks are good, and they're doing a lot.
嘿，我又回来了。
They just need a little bit of love from you. And honestly, maybe you shouldn't be playing Mei. Like, why are you Mei? Like, you know, you're not really like. Not only are you not getting the most out of that hero, but maybe you really would be doing more on other heroes. Like a Reaper or something, just so you can also contest high ground, not just leave it up to Genji. Oh, not again. Just think about how long it's been since you've even done any meaningful damage to the enemy team. Oh man, their tanks and killers are just carrying both the DPS. I haven't even seen the Genji do anything but fall. Yeah, see, when you're winning the fight, you can freeze the ultimate. It's fine. Well, no, that was still a bad play if you weren't winning. Oh no, that's not a good ult. Oh, why did you wall yourself up? Oh man. Are the tanks like fucking tilting at the DPS right now? Going like, DPS, please do something. Because they would be right to. Like, you've literally done nothing this entire point C. It's ridiculous to watch. You've just been trying to right click this Ashe on the high ground the whole time. And nothing has happened. And then you ult and then it's a big flop. Like literally, like the toxic ladder. Oh my god! Genji. Literally, the toxic ladder player is like right. DPS is doing jack shit. Nah, man. I think you should just maybe not play mid. Oh no, that's not a good thing for a VOD reviewer to say. No, just learn to use wall, man. Just use your wall. Like, learn to use wall, or don't play May. Yeah, that's better. Like, May is all about that wall. It's all about creating that separation, fuck up their tanks, left click them, freeze them, get a pick that way. May is not about right clicks. Um, yeah. Well, I hope that what I said really helps you level up your May and your Pharah game. And just generally think about what is your win condition. Why am I playing this particular hero, and what do I have to gain out of playing this hero? How do I have to play to make playing this hero the right move? I'd like to really use the strengths of this hero, and that doesn't just apply for May. That applies to every hero, every DPS hero. Really think about that, because if you didn't want to contest high ground, you can go like Reaper or something. Like any hero that you pick, you always need to be thinking like, um, what do I do on this particular hero to get maximum value? Like, and if you don't do that, you might as well be like a Reaper who's like trying to damage people at long range or something. Like, it's really important. There's really a lot of thought goes into this game, and um, there's a lot of payoff, for putting that thought in. Anyway, thanks for letting me review your VOD. I hope you found it useful. Take care.